Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
We're brought to you by Seacoast RV, Route 1 in Saco, Maine, featuring Winnebago, Elevation,
I just did that.
and Crop.
Well,
It's a special show tonight, Bob.
it is a special show. We're going to go over the top 10 finalists for RV of the year, and we're going to take them in that order. I hope everybody can read it, but we're actually going to take them in that order. And
Right.
we had to assemble an illustrious group of professionals to join us tonight. Walter Swenson in the right corner. Oh, Convoy, you need the light on. You're not there.
That's a close-up of his dark room.
Yeah, Dante is here with us from Maine, soon to be heading to Florida. Randy Murray and Ryan Hadley. So if we could just get Jim Convoy on the screen, that would be a good little thing. Can you hear us, Jim?
I can hear you.
Okay.
It was working.
Well, let you know you were working. I saw you and I heard you.
Dante has his mic off.
There you go.
There you
Dante, you can turn your mic on, Dante.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
Got him
Bob,
there.
how did you assemble this all-star team? I mean, not very often can you get... Basically, we probably have more people on the show than watching the show tonight.
We're about even right. I think we're about even right now. Actually, just so that we don't get any criticism, I did invite 2 women, but they were not able to come. So I put a little bit more than we expected, but I did invite women.
Oh, Kevin Lord.
And Audrey is in Miami at a wedding, and she thought she might be better served paying attention.
Yeah, because margaritas are at half price until 8 o'clock, so no way she was going to give up that 7 to 8 o'clock hour. I saw her note back to you. And Kevin, can you hear us? I see that you wrote "Good evening, guys," but can you hear us? Because there was a question of whether or not our volume was going out. But just have somebody tell us, yes, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, just let us know that you're hearing what's there. So we're going to go through the top 10.
Yes, thanks, Kevin.
And you can hear us?
Yeah.
That's good. So
Somebody's got their radio on because we got feedback from
the
somebody.
rules are real simple. Say what you want when you want. And if you got personal knowledge of a particular brand and you want to add some interesting features to it, then we should do that. So the first one, as we go down the list, is 27 North. And how many of you guys have even heard of 27 North?
Yeah, I've heard of them. They have 4 different models.
Yep, kind of off-road, a real rugged and top-shelf luxury type of.
Yeah, based on their pictures, definitely targeted towards high net worth, maybe millennial kind of age bracket.
The interesting background story, Pavel Bosovic, who is the CEO, I interviewed him about 2 years ago when he didn't have his brand new building. He and his family emigrated from the Ukraine before the war, came to the United States with nothing. And he worked odd jobs while he was going to school, built some custom homes. Then he went home one day and complained to his mother that all the RVs were junk. And she said, well, if you think they're junk, why don't you go ahead and build one? So he built one in her garage, and the rest is history. They've gone like crazy out in the St. Louis area. And they're building, like I said, it is a real quality. Actually, I was kind of glad to see it because sometimes companies like that get lost in the distance, especially with all the big players that we have. But every feature in the coach is top of the line.
Yeah, it's really for the backwoods.
Huh?
It's really for the backwoods. It's like something you see up in northern Maine.
Yeah, and they're kind of like a small version of an Earth Roamer, and I think Earth Roamer went out of business, but they're getting on that whole Outlander family of products. They're up there with that, and they're at places like that. That's the first time No, they did show one of the year. They were in the field behind Grand Design at the open house, and they didn't get much
Hey,
traction.
Bob,
Yeah,
let's during the course of this show, let's ask our experts if that unit that we're discussing, if it would appeal to them, and they would buy it. So why don't we start with Walter and go right around? Walter, would you be interested in that?
So the Venture Van is interesting. I actually like the Ascender. I think it would be really cool to get in some outback places out of the way. But the styling is incredible. I've been in one. But the price tag's probably just a tad outside of my reach.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I thought I called Rick on that to see if because that was the one listing where he didn't put a particular brand, and I was in my mind, I was convinced he was going to take the Ascender. It doesn't look like anything else in the business.
Yeah. Randy, do you have that in any of your stores, or is it a direct-to-consumer product?
I don't carry that. I carry a Jayco derivative of it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
With the four-wheel drive.
Yes.
Sprinter.
Same chassis.
Yep. 2,500.
Interesting.
Yeah. Dante?
Yeah, I mean, that's something you definitely see up in the North Country. I know my son-in-law and my daughter bought 88 acres of land up in northern Wisconsin, and they were telling me a couple of people have rigs just about like that. I mean, they're homemade, but they use them up there.
How about you, Jim? Jim Conboy, can you hear us?
If I were doing a lot of driving, off-roading, I'd consider it. But for me, it's a little too small. I got a wife, 3 dogs.
Yep.
I don't know where the hell I'd put them.
Yeah, you need but it's a good point. It's for that person that wants to get off the road and stay off the road for a long time.
I've done a lot of them, different versions. But if it's a single person or a couple, they're great.
Yeah.
And you can park them anywhere.
Yep.
Brian?
To me, it doesn't really appeal to me too much. I mean, it is cool if I was single or just my wife and I. It'd be something that I wouldn't mind having around to take out on the weekends and stuff and go places. Not really kid friendly and a little too cramped for my style.
Yeah, the thing I didn't like about it, but there's probably no other way to do it, is they put a cassette toilet in it instead of a biodegradable one. I mean, why would you put a cassette? You're going to still have to dump it somewhere.
Because
most of them going with composting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not the composting, especially with the quality of what they put into it?
The composting toilets require 100% air movement continuously, and is a big 12-volt draw. So without putting tanks underneath, the cassette toilet is a popular option for the B vans, especially the off-road stuff.
Okay, Mr. Murray, you can go home now. I just wanted to wait until you made the first profound statement of the night of the 7. Well, I'll give Ryan credit. Ryan probably knows what, and then Walter probably. No, maybe Jim. Actually, DePietro, maybe you and I are the only two that know.
That is a good question. The difference between a cassette toilet and a composting toilet. Either way, you still have to dispose of it by hand. Am I correct?
Well, the composting is down to nothing, so they just take the residue and put it in a bag, and when you get to the dumpster.
How long does it take to get down to nothing?
I don't know.
Depends how much you put in it.
Assume that you did not go to an all-you-can-eat buffet in Las Vegas.
Now, I have a question. That style camper, are they? And Randall, you probably know this, but are they running a generator somewhere on that, like a 2200 or something, or is it all solar with an inverter?
So they're made both ways. The ones that we sell here that are on that platform are 100% lithium.
Yep.
So they run a 54 volt, 2100 amp hour lithium battery in it with a large inverter setup, and then they're running a diesel heater. The lithium's taking care of the electronics and the air conditioning. On other platforms, unlike the ones that we carry, I've seen like a small 2100 watt generator put in over the rear axle or right behind the rear axle.
Yeah.
For ground clearance, and then that's kind of like a regular RV with a generator rather than a lithium setup. So both ways.
The 27 North is solar and lithium battery.
There you go.
Bob,
Lithium's
at
enough.
this,
I mean,
at this pace, is our pace okay, or are we going to have to pick it up in order to get it?
I was about ready to go to number 2. It was
That's what we were just talking about.
This is the Alliance first attempt at a destination camper, and I think they hit it at the ballpark. Now, unfortunately, it's so new, we didn't have interior pictures of it, but they have 2 different floor plans for it. But it's a 42-footer and a 44-footer. But like the other Alliance products, extremely well built, and it was very well received for the dealers that went over there. And for the consumers that are watching, the problem with doing something like the product of the year or the analysis, like Kessler's probably got about 10 or 15 people that run around and go to every vendor and look at it. But a lot of them, I'll show you one that I know, many of these are coming off the assembly line on Friday and being delivered to the Hall of Fame area on Monday.
Saturday.
And it's the first prototype. So, it's a good size unit. You get up to the 44 on a straight destination. Alliance makes such good products. There's no question that this is going to be a really good one for them. How about comments on destination trailers in general? There's a lot more of them this year.
Yeah. That's very interesting to see Alliance go from a short bumper pull to a long bumper pull.
Yeah, but Alliance also has fifth wheels.
Right.
Oh, right. That's what I mean.
Fifth wheel travel trailers, and I thought,
But the last one that they put out was that short
travel trailer,
small travel trailer. The first,
the Delta. Yeah, the Delta. Yeah,
it's Delta, correct. Yep.
Hey, Bob, if you Google that right now, they have a whole section of pictures. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, or 16 pictures of that. It really looks nice.
On the Alliance site?
Yeah, I just typed in Alliance Benchmark 44 LFT, and it came right up.
Oh, I went to the Alliance site today. Okay, well, just so people know, go to the Alliance. Is that a 2-bedroom, 2-bath? Can you tell?
Three bedroom. It's got two lofts.
That down the back here. Yeah, you get two
lofts,
full bathrooms,
lofts. Yeah,
2 lofts.
Loft in there and a loft at the back end. Yeah,
and you have 2 full baths.
Yeah, I'll show you a Cedar Creek in a minute that is kind of similar. This is a company that doesn't get much play, and that's the only thing I could get off their site. But ATC, it's an all aluminum trailer, and they're kind of high end on the toy hauler stuff. So this is one of the bigger ones. It's got an 18-foot garage. I mean, you can put a full Jeep in the back.
So their claim to fame for this model is you can actually put a 4-door Jeep in the back.
Right.
Why would you do that? It's going to be the same as
have your trailer and your toys.
Right.
Yeah, and could be an off-road, an off-road Jeep that they may
same
not
size as the pickup truck that you're pulling it with. Plus, you're pulling a lot more weight.
Probably a big one. Yeah.
He's very popular in the racing industry with their car trailers.
Yeah, and it's pretty high end on the inside. Now that's exposed into the garage area, so the living behind it is kind of secure, but that opens up into the garage area. And I'm not sure. Yeah,
the opposite end, Bob.
What's that?
The opposite end. That would be from the garage area.
What did I say? To the garage?
Opens into it, but wouldn't that be from the garage?
Yeah, the back was up. Yeah, that's the front of it looking forward, right?
Looking toward the front.
Yeah.
That's cool. Would it be of interest to any of you gentlemen?
No,
not really. No. Don't need that big of a garage. Wasting space for me.
Okay. Next
coming up is the Brinkley Model I, the first travel trailer.
Wow.
From the boys at Brinkley.
The lights on the front are super popular this year. I saw about 6 or 7 brands with them out at open house.
Yeah, I don't get the idea of the lights outside at all.
Yeah. Well, it's fine unless you live next door to that person. That's the be. You know what, guys? I'm sure you all agree. The beauty of RVing is that you don't have to have a destination etched in stone, and depending upon the weather and other things, you can turn around and go the other way.
When I used to repair trailers at racetracks all over the country on the way home, they would usually give me a few days to get home. I'd come to a crossing the road and I'd flip a coin.
Yep.
Just to see America, right? It was pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. Well, that's what we did when we got to the junction of Route 2 and 190. If we went right, we would go to Maine and New Hampshire. If we went left, we went to Vermont, which is what we did.
Yep. Let's go to Fleetwood, 45-foot new diesel pusher, the 45DS. And I didn't, again, on Fleetwood, there was some stuff there, but we're not going to spend too much time on diesel pushers. So they're really slow in the marketplace. There was a lot of people that felt that in a couple of years, Class A's could pretty much disappear and it'll all be Super C's and C's. Randy, are you hearing anything like that from some of your vendors at all? But there's really concerns about this lagging sales on the big stuff.
So I think the statement that you said, I've not heard anybody say it definitively to me, but I've seen some trends, and there's been all sorts of weird trends for the last few years. But I've seen, like, going to Hershey, Integra stopped building some of that stuff, right? And like I see a lot of Super C's being focused on where some of the pushers are not by some of the bigger OEMs. So it may be trending that way. I mean, the cost of everything is high. When interest rates are high, it affects different people, right?
Yeah, especially when the rig costs $500,000.
I'll tell you,
$500,000.
as somebody who's had the opportunity to drive both, I definitely prefer driving a Super C.
You know, the thing about Super C too is you still have that Class C, the bunk above the bed, or you have that bed above the driver's compartment area, which is very popular with people with kids and a big family, versus a diesel pusher that most of them aren't really suited towards families.
No.
You're right. Yeah. They're suited to sleep two people.
Yeah. They're pulling the couch and stuff like that, but nothing, no extra real beds or anything. My father has one with a bunkhouse.
A lot of them now have the bed that pops down. On the conveyor.
Yeah, over the driver's seats. Yep.
Yeah, over the driver's seat. But then again, a good part about having that bed area on the Super C as well as is that you can use it during the day. So if kids want to go up there and vegetate or sleep, they can do that.
But the other thing that came up was the chassis that they're building them on. There's talk about Ford maybe dropping that gas chassis. And, that'll kill a lot of the Class A marketplace. And then they can get plenty of chassis for the Super C's. And
were they 450s they're all diesels.
They just use them for the regular trucks. Yeah.
They're Freightliner.
Yeah, they're Freightliners. Yeah.
Are they going to get rid of the F-53 frames then?
There is talk about them dropping it. Yeah.
Wow.
If that happened, though, I think Chevy just came out with like an international top kick thing or something. It's like a C4500. I bet you they would try to fill that void.
Gas or diesel?
I think you can get them gas and diesel.
Well, there's been, some people bought that P30 chassis from General Motors and tried to make it and bring it back to the market. But I think once these guys look at the market and the declining Class A in general, and then take the percentage of that are gas, they could potentially disappear.
Yeah.
So we go to Wildwood, and we've seen a couple of these now from different manufacturers where on the back of a travel trailer or
extendable porch.
We've seen them on toy haulers, but now they're putting them on conventional trailers. That one there has a Blackstone grill, and you look at it from the other angle. I mean, it's nice looking, but I always had a problem with this. If you're going camping and you want to be outside, why do you want to be 3 or 4 feet off the ground? I don't know. Take that around the table, John.
Well, rain.
As far as destination, the veranda, the destination trailers.
Yeah.
I think that's of the three that are in this top 10. I think that's the nicest looking one.
Yeah, but what about using it for something else? And you got a grill down by the picnic table. I don't know. Are they that vain that they don't want to get their feet muddy anymore?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but think about it. It's good for inclement weather. And you can always put the griddle down, I believe.
So does that's stationary? That doesn't fold up.
Oh, it's stationary?
It's an entire kitchen.
Yeah.
So you cook and throw.
That's a pretty big tail swing on a trailer right there.
Oh, yeah.
But that, I think, Bob, if you go back to that, I think that last section slides in.
Yes, slides into the
far left, slides in about 3 feet, Ryan.
Oh yeah, that extra piece
slides in.
I see that, but the most of the deck stays there going down the road.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, obviously, but we saw several of those units. I know Doug Gettart was was it the Salem?
The Salem Hemisphere was the same type of product. Yep.
Had that.
Randall, don't you guys have like a lodge or something that has something like that?
Yep, the Wildwood Lodge. It's that same Wildwood family have it. Check this one out. Now, this is the veranda also, but this is the loft. And if you look closely, there's a hole in the floor under the table.
For your feet.
So you sit there on that little chair and you drop your feet down, and you can use it as a desk.
Yeah. When you're on the lower level, you don't even notice it because they tucked it into the bathroom.
Geez.
So it's in the bathroom, so it just doesn't have a high ceiling. It's got an area that looks like it's a closet up top.
That's the thing they do in Japan. In Japan, they do that in their dining room tables in the houses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was pretty cool. Again, that's designed for kids up there. You're not going to get many full-size adults up there.
No, but that guy that does the videos for Bish's, Josh, the RV nerd, he did a video on this, and he shows him sitting there at the desk, and his head is right at the ceiling. So you're not going to be too big before you.
You talk about that deck. I could see one of those at the NASCAR races, where you're in a big dirt lot, so why be on the ground? You can be up on the deck.
Or if you're up at Loudon and you're on the backstretch hill, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. Yeah.
Bob's got a dog. Dante's got a cat. Anybody else have another animal with them?
I got a dog and kids behind me.
Dog? Me and kids? Okay.
My three are downstairs being quiet.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
My dog's upstairs sleeping.
Next, Yagami. That is cool.
Forest River Cottage Crest. And in fact, the Northeast sales rep is a guy named Mark Warner. He's been out there about 30 years. He's my interview this week on the Camper Report Show talking about this particular product. And it's a fifth wheel. And that this whole aspect of being a fifth wheel, I wonder how many people, you're not going to drag it around a lot, but one thing that you could do versus a park model that you're not going to change out every year is you hire some, so you don't have something big enough to pull. You're not going to buy something to pull it twice a year. So you contract with a transport company and say, I want you to take it up to the White Mountains on this campground, and they put it in place. And next year you want to go to Cape Cod, you have somebody transport it down to Cape Cod. So it's not a wasted feature, but they've done a lot of things that are relatively new, including the siding. The siding is actually printed on the composite material. Like you print a poster off of a machine, they run it through, and they print it on the Asdel or the composite material. And there's two different textures. The siding down below is kind of like a log cabin. They wanted it to look like a tiny home. And I think it did the first time that I saw it. It looks like a tiny home.
Now, the interesting part about that, let me just throw this in there. That looks beautiful because it's brand new. It'd be interesting in 3 years to come back and see how that weathers. with either the Florida or Texas sun.
So is
Or
that
They ran it. Yeah, before they picked it out, they ran it through some solar testing, and they got it up to 8 years of continuous use before it started to fade. So
I've been in that. It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's and they got the stairway in the back that goes up to the loft up there, and you can get a loft over the bathroom. There's a loft also, but it's still only one bathroom versus some of the other destination units that a lot of them now are going to the two full baths, and
that's a long walk too from the back to the front.
to the
Yeah.
bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on a bath and a half.
You go through the kitchen, so you can get 2 double beds up there on that, and you get a couple of small ones on the other loft itself. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
what?
Mr. DePietro, you can take this one. You were down for the intro.
Well, looks like a couple new floor plans, and it certainly looks that if I could point it out, it's a toy hauler, or maybe not.
No.
Okay, the back end is different, but
No, it's
my point is, Bob, go back one.
full. Yeah, it's full body paint.
The
Yes.
the cab over is squared off, totally different than all the others, and it looks like it's got glass on it as well.
Yeah, there is. You can see it in this one. If you look at the front, see the grand design.
Yep.
This.
Yep.
So there's the window up the top there.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
The
Again-
thing that I wasn't absolutely crazy about was they tucked that small bathroom down in that back corner. So they get you a king bed.
Yep, a lot of them are doing that.
But that's a really tight bathroom. For
Yeah.
me,
Very tight.
The thing
Very
is,
tight.
the thing that all those Class Cs, those 24-foot Class Cs are doing, they're all going with the Murphy bed, which means you have to have the slide out in order to utilize it. And if there's any one thing that I like about our unit is that you don't need the slide out if you're in a just stopping in a parking lot for the night.
Yeah.
And that, if I recall correctly, that is a pretty good size slide. And I'm always leery about if you're not at a campground and that slide is out.
out or in.
If somebody bumps you, no, out. If the slide is out, if you're utilizing the slide,
Because it's got a lot of depth to it, you mean?
it's a very deep slide.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's going to be that's got to be either an articulated bed or a folding.
it's a fold bed. It's a bed that will
Yeah,
fold.
that's
Well, okay.
And-
So when they slide it in, though,
the bed folds in half. And so what happens is when you're sleeping on it, you find that middle section and you fall into it all the time.
does it go east to west or not? It's got to go east to west.
East-west bed.
East to west, and
Yeah.
the bottom half of the bed folds up against the wall.
So your
Yeah.
butt's on one side of it and your shoulders are on the other side.
And in order to have access to the bathroom, they had to make that slide big enough. Otherwise, you don't have access to it. And I have been in a 24-footer with no access to the bathroom while the slides were in. And I won't get into the brand, but that was a royal pain. You really couldn't have a passenger attempt to go to the bathroom while you were driving down the highway because it was too dangerous. But again, it's another 24-footer. It's a new.
It's on that 40. It's on the new Mercedes 4500 chassis that they're all switching over to now.
Right.
Yeah.
The four-cylinder. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I've heard different things on that because when I talked to my Mercedes dealer friends, they said Mercedes had some leftover 4500s from one of the freight companies that stopped using them, and they're not building a ton of them. So they shipped them off to the RV industry.
Oh, good.
So I don't know if that's the long-term thing. Randy, have you heard anything like that?
I'm not.
Yeah. And that was straight from the Mercedes dealer. They said, don't get excited over it. It's not going to be around that long.
The RV industry, there's tiers for the Mercedes chassis, and the RV industry is actually pretty low on the pole. Like the UPS and Federal Express are actually looked at before the RV industry.
Yep.
And so we get what's left over.
Yeah, well, when Amazon buys 25,000 at a time, and you want to build a couple of motorhomes, you don't get a lot of attention.
I couldn't believe what happened. I thought it'd be way more pull, and they're like, "Oh no, dude, we're like way down here. We're like the redheaded stepchild. Like all those other guys get them way before us, and we get to build whatever they left over for us."
And that's what happened 3 or 4 years ago with like the Wayfarer was the number one selling brand. All of a sudden, they couldn't get the chassis.
Yep.
So
You see many of now. Granted, each manufacturer is different. But are you seeing a lot of activity on those 24-foot Mercedes for new roofs?
Not the lineage. It's new. I mean, I was at Grand Design National when they introduced it. And I actually had dinner with the couple and their 3 kids who tested it out for a couple of months. I still don't know how they fit in the damn thing. But to be honest with you, I do more Forest River Sunseekers and Thors than ever before. And it's just the problem of having a TPO roof.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, we should find time for our commercial, our midpoint commercial here.
Yeah, let me see what I got. Let's. Where's my
We have to pay homage to those who pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In case you don't know, by now it is Seacoast.
Folks, we've got a big problem. There's absolutely no way we can match the savings of Seacoast RV during their blowout bonanza. I mean, look at these prices. They're crazy!
Don't miss out on Seacoast RV's blowout bonanza and your chance to get your family into the RV or towable of your dreams.
Wait a minute. Seacoast RV is taking your trade-ins and giving you top dollar?
And Seacoast RV wants your trade-in during their 2023 blowout bonanza. Trade in your RV towards a leftover 2023 model and receive up to an additional $5,000 on your trade value. That's right, up to $5,000 on your trade.
I mean, just look at these prices. How the heck am I supposed to match Seacoast RV's blowout bonanza? We can't do it!
Don't miss Seacoast RV's 2023 blowout bonanza. And don't forget to check the website for the RV of the week. Seacoast RV, creating family fun on Route 1 in Saco.
Seacoast RV's blowout bonanza savings are so crazy, it makes my head want to explode. Seacoast RV.
Nice creative stuff.
Yeah.
Just to throw a plug for Seacoast up here, they're on TV and radio up here all the time now.
Yep.
They're hitting it hard.
Well, it is Maine, not Boston, so you can do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Bob, just in case anybody is joining us mid-show, we should tell you that tonight's a special show with our panel of experts, with Walter Swenson being up in the top right. At least on my screen, he is. Then moving down, we have Randy from Pete's RV Center, Dante, longtime viewer and RVer, Jim Convoy, a longtime viewer and RVer, Ryan Hadley, a longtime RVer and technician. And the interesting thing here is everybody here is an RV owner.
Yep.
That's pretty cool that we're actually talking about what we do. So,
Well, let's swing to Jayco and their Eagle HT. Now, this is a lightweight trailer, and it's kind of a pretty nice, pretty functional floor. Probably maybe a couple's couch with maybe one couple's couch with one kid on.
Definitely a couple's trailer.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, that interior shot is different than the exterior shot because the steps are in a totally different location. If you go back to that exterior shot.
This is probably the exterior shot. They only got the 2 floor plans.
Yep.
You got the door. You got the door down the back left.
Way back.
Well, that's
and then here you got a center door. And here you got a front door.
They must have another floor plan. Do you know, Randy, if there's or floor plans? What's unique about this one, Randy? Is it a new model, or what's the HT stand for?
I think it's a much smaller model than they usually are putting out with the Eagle.
Okay.
And the other thing Jayco did this year is they made the White Hawk go away. So they have moved, they've shifted the popular floor plans in the White Hawk line. And the White Hawk was kind of an awkward line anyway. It was right between, like, say, their Jay Feather and their Eagle brand. And so it was kind of in there, and they've shifted both of those floor plans either way. So you're going to see a lot more Eagles, probably smaller this year, and you're going to see a lot more Jay Feathers that are going to be a little bit larger this year.
Yeah.
That's
So
where this stuff comes.
Yeah, there's a big push on for the smaller single, double axles, smaller floor plans, in lengths. That's everybody seemed to have had something like that. And speaking about that, Keystone brought out two. They brought out the Sprout and the Rain, which are single axle, all galvanized chassis. I don't know. What do you think they were chasing in building this one out, or did they just want to have a couple of entries in that single barrel? Any idea?
So this one here looks like it's got no LP on it. And it's probably all electric. Forest River did a version of something like this in the Cherokee Grey Wolf line.
How the hell can you tell that?
They're trying to come up with, being the cost of everything has been rising so quickly, they're trying to come out with units by removing some materials or devices that may not be necessary and to make them a little less expensive. The Sprout has LP on it.
Yeah, that's got it, yeah. Well, I think it's got the base. I think Rain has got the base. They just don't have a tank on it. But this was a good example of in the shop on Friday and out to the dealers on Monday. They really rushed them. A lot of the guys that reviewed them thought that they, could have probably waited a little bit. There was some
The Rain is an electric coach, no propane.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Well, if you look closely look at that electric bolt there, that bolt, the graphics on the side.
Oh yeah, the little lightning bolt instead of an eye.
Yep.
On the oh, okay.
Does that Rain have an air conditioner?
I don't know. I think
it's one up there
on the top.
Looks like it.
That's solar on top?
That's solar.
It looks like air conditioning.
Yeah, there are 12-volt ACs out there.
That looks like a solar panel.
On the back, that's a solar.
Yep.
What would you say that is?
But it does have AC.
They're listing around $30,000 to $35,000. So they're getting down, into that 30,000, and we got to, everybody's got a kind of $30,000 trailers now. So at least they responded to the marketplace from a financial standpoint. Some have been decontented. Some have just dropped the price down but kept the same quality. I think Winnebago did that on it. So those are the 10. Are there any that you may be aware of that you thought should have been in the top 10? Because they rated or they looked at 67 different models, between Top Innovations and Top New Debut RV. Is there anything that you saw or read about or talked to anybody about that you thought should have made the top 10?
LCI has this really neat kind of patio thing, the patio door setup that they came out with this year. I've seen it on a couple different manufacturers' lines. I think Heartland and Keystone are both using it, or Forest River and Keystone are currently using it, and that was kind of neat. That was probably the most ingenuitive thing that I saw over at Open House when I was out there.
You called it a patio door?
It actually opens up like they built a folding door, LCI did, and it turns into a patio. So the way it closes and the operation of it and the end result is really neat. They're using it on the Bullet, and Montana has an electric version of it. And I think they're also using it on the Sabre product as well.
So it's on the back of the unit, but it folds down
on the side.
On the side, Bob.
Yep.
On the side?
Yeah.
Both back and side, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So it actually
does wind up being the base of the deck.
Yep.
That's interesting. I go around the table. If you had to pick one out of these 10, which one would it be and why?
And
Jim,
you get to keep it. You get to keep
I want Jim to fall asleep. Jim, what do you think? Which one and why?
To be honest, I wouldn't pick any of them.
You're
None of them meet my needs.
entitled.
I'm a big one for the livability factor inside an RV. None of them would feel comfortable to me. I've had Class C's all my life, and now I'm a fifth wheeler, and I've got a beautiful Solitude. I'm happy with it, and if someone even offered me a Brinkley, maybe I'd take it. If with the same version, Brinkley has the same version as mine. The 3.2, I forget what they call it. But I've been in them. They're a higher quality. But none of them flipped my boat as far as the living space and what I would like it to be.
But is that your style? Because you want
right?
to be comfortable. And how many when you go camping is just you and the wife, or how many?
Oh, it's me, the wife, 3 dogs. Sometimes one of my kids and a grandson. I mean, it depends.
You're pretty seasonal, though, aren't you, Jim?
I have a seasonal site, but I travel a lot.
Okay.
So I'm out 4 or 5 times with my Good Sam Club. Then I do the New England Grand Design Rally. Then I went to National this year. Then I go to Halo's Wish. So when I'm done with the travels, I still have a place to go, and it's paid for the season.
Yeah. Walter, what do you think?
So if I was chasing the market, Destination's probably going to win. I don't think the Cedar Creek, it's not selling well, so I don't think that'll reach the top. I think the Alliance will. And if they're targeting kind of the upcoming market of couples trailers, the Keystone, the Rain, mostly because it's all electric and there's the side story associated with it. So
interesting perspective, Walter.
Mm-hmm.
Dante?
Oh, I'd have to go to Fleetwood Palisade.
You like the big Class A?
Well, the folks at camp next to us down in Daytona, they've got the Tiffin Phaeton, and we've been in it a bunch of times with them. It's just so comfortable, so nice in there. And I tell you what, I love our Forest River 34 DS. But the only thing I don't like is the size of the shower. I mean, you got to be a contortionist to take a shower, and this Palisade has a huge 50 by 34 inch shower. So.
Yep.
I mean, it's just more comfortable like that. But it's only my wife and I and the cat. So, I mean, we don't really, the grandkids flat out told us they don't want to go camping. They do the glamping. They don't camp.
Now, isn't it interesting, Bob, though, with the 3 folks that have chimed in so far, 3 totally different reasons for picking their units. And Dante, first time I've heard, and I know it exists in other people's minds, is that the shower and the bathroom facilities determine whether or not it's something you want or not.
It was always my first choice. You're going to spend that kind of money. You want to be comfortable. I don't want to be walking up to the shower bathhouse every time I want to take a shower.
So when I was a sales guy on the floor, I would make my customers sit on the toilet, stand in the shower, and lie on the bed. And if one of those didn't work, I wasn't going to sell them that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, you're exactly right. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And Ryan, how about you, sir?
Well, as far as a family standpoint, I really like that Destination trailer, the room that it has.
The Alliance or the Cedar Creek?
Which one?
Wait a minute. The Alliance?
It was the veranda or the Cedar Creek on the Destination. Alliance was the travel trailer. The Alliance was the benchmark.
Yeah,
it was benchmark.
The wood, the side.
The one with the wood. Okay.
That's the Cedar Creek.
Oh, no, that's not the one.
No, that's the one. The Cedar Creek is the one with the wood siding.
Yeah.
So that one right there, and Only reason being is, with the kids, we've actually thought about doing something like this, is getting a seasonal site where we can just go to it on the weekends instead of going out, and packing everything up and stuff, and being able to just drive somewhere and unlock the door and have fun. As far as personally, if it was just my wife and I'd really enjoy that first one, the Mercedes chassis. That'd be something cool to take up to the mountains and, park anywhere and go hiking and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yep. So Ryan, let me ask you a question, Ryan, because you're the youngest of the demographic here. Talking about a seasonal, would you prefer something 120 miles away, like up at Bailey's, or would you go 30 miles out to Pine Acres in Ocam?
Me personally, I like being near the water, ocean wise. So I'd rather make the travel a little farther to be near the ocean. Just because I think it's more to offer and it's just what I prefer.
I'm always amazed when we talk to people at campgrounds, the number of people that live in the town that, right? I mean, well, they live in the town that the campground is in.
If you're going, if there's some campgrounds where, if you're going to a campground and you're going to stay at that campground and just hang out at that campground, they're beautiful campgrounds because there's nothing around to do.
Yep.
And there's
that's what I had up where I was up in Maine at Seacoast Resort. It was all park models, gated community, all park models. We were a mile from the beach. It was truly like having a second home. You didn't pack anything. You just got in the car and go, and that was great. I'm not sure I'd take a destination trailer over a park model. If I was going to do destination camping, and we had 3 different park models over a number of years for destination camping. And I think this is a good selection. I think it's a difficult selection. I'm going to bet, actually, let's go around. Let's start with you, John, and we'll go around the clock. If you had to pick one of these as the RV, you don't have a choice. You had to pick one of these as the RV of the year. Now, we're not inside Kessler's head. I don't know what their criteria is. I don't know what the criteria was to get these 10 there, but if you're on the panel, which one would you vote for?
Well, if I didn't have to buy it,
you don't have to buy it,
but I could use it, then I would pick the big Class A, even though I don't like driving them, but I think the luxury that they provide when parked are pretty cool.
Yeah. Walter?
Brinkley Model I.
Yeah, it's too bad. Don't worry, I'm gonna edit that whole section out of the finished product. Jim, what about you?
I don't know. Out of this list, I'd probably go with the Fleetwood.
Yeah,
I really would. It's a beautiful rig.
Yeah. We got to do more with Fleetwood. I got to get.
Know anybody
I was
there.
talking to John earlier today on that. We get a lot of contacts in the industry, but we haven't done well with the new Fleetwood after they came back from bankruptcy because they got the Holiday Ramblers, they got the Fleetwoods, they got a good history with all of those coaches, and quite honestly, I don't hear much bad about them.
So Zagami, early voting has started, and over at the right at 7:49 p.m. we have an early voter.
7:49.
49.
Hooky? Of course you can vote Hooky.
He might be promoting himself.
Kevin, I don't think there was a Coleman in that lineup.
That's right. He's doing a write-in.
Huh? He's doing a write-in vote. Let's see who we got over here. We didn't do a lot of home cooking. Bill Sell said, greetings from Meston West. Michelle, greetings from Douglas. Michelle again. Okay. Michelle again? Saw the graphic. Not sure.
Oh, no, that was, we're talking about, did you hear the commercial at the beginning?
Oh, okay. Hawkey. You can hear us. Hi, Ryan. I'm sure you'll meet my new baby at some point. Have you named that thing, Michelle?
Michelle.
Just bought a Rockwood Mini. from Russo's down in Lakeville. Jim, Mitt Romney showed us you can put the dogs on the roof.
That must have been during a prior presidential campaign.
No, he did. He left his dog on his car one time.
Okay, better than coffee.
Willie showed up. Bob and John love you. All the best to you and your families. Thank you, sir. Bill Sell, I'm in the audience. Bill Sell, Bob, take down the photo. I did finally. I finally got it. Grand.
That was giving you directions.
Grand overlays. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta go back. Bernie can probably. He's doing well. Bernie could probably teach me how to do it. Hey, Mary, nice to see you. Look again says, "What do you go? Sprout and Rain, an innovative product. A lot of great response. Okay. I am back on the show. Oh, Michael, I didn't know you were on the show, Michael. I've been away doing videos for future shows. For us or for somebody else, Michael? Let's see. Did you give him an assignment, John? He just shows up and says, doing videos?
Ignore him.
All right, Kevin got that. Jim Roy, not one Airstream. No, not
actually in the must-see RV list is the Classic 33.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Oh, I had a nice visit with Tim last week over at Tim's on Friday afternoon.
Is that right? Yeah.
When we were heading up to Vermont, we stopped by in Irving, Mass, and Tim gave us a tour. Tim, what was that? What was that slide-on truck camper that All-American Flying Eagle? Soaring Eagle. Flying Eagle. Yeah. We did that video.
Yeah. Oh, you did a video on it?
Yeah, we put it on the NERV page, but
I didn't see it.
Well, it was there.
Oh, I didn't see it. All right. Well, we're pretty much up against the time clock there.
Special thanks to our panel of experts.
Absolutely. It was like being around the bar, but I had to buy my own Jack Daniels.
They're the best. They're the best. Good luck with Walter and family hospitalizations. Everybody's got family hospitalizations coming up. Good luck to everybody there. And just about 8 o'clock to say thank you so much. Keep in mind, folks, that we do not take your viewership for granted. We appreciate it. 9.5, almost 10 years we've been doing this deal. We just did our 200th show on Camper Report Show. We just did our 200th show today. And we talk about you guys. We talk about you on the other show. So you're the best.
Our loyal fans. We appreciate it, guys. We'll catch up to you down the road. And thanks for a good night.
Bye, everyone.
I don't want that.
No, you don't want that. You want the commercial.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.